Good morning or good afternoon. Hope you guys are having an excellent day so far. I wanted to do a video today to address toxic load in synthetics. It's a bit of a heavy topic, and I thought we did a lot of reading yesterday, with each of the individual oils and what they offer and how they're used. So I just thought this information would be better delivered in video format. As you saw on the health and wellness pyramid, toxic load is up there, right? It's the fourth step up right after rest and stress management. We all know that the foundation to being healthy, feeling healthy, is eating right and exercising. So, I think we all do our best. We all have room for improvements. I eat processed food every now and then, probably more often than I should, but I'm pretty good at, eliminating that stuff from my diet altogether. And the main reason is because once you do it for a really long time, you just start to feel better. And then you feel like crap when you do eat the processed junk. So it's your body's natural reinforcement telling you, I don't want that junk anymore. You've given me the good stuff for long enough. I know what that is and I want it. So if you can get yourself into that habit, it really does become easier. It's like anything, right? Quitting smoking or quitting caffeine. You have to get over that hump first. You have to get over, your habits and your cravings for those kind of things. And once you're able to do that, it really does become easy and you start to feel amazing. And that is its own reward. It will keep you going on that whole food, healthy food path. So in terms of toxic load in synthetics, there are four main areas that we can identify where we're coming into contact with the most toxic substances and causing our body to detox more than it would like to or needs to. So the first is diet. This one is a relatively simple one to address. But cleaning products, personal care products, medical care, they're a little bit more in depth. When it comes to diet, it's simple, but it's not always easy. It's kind of unrealistic for everyone to start eating organic, to minimize in that way. But just simply cutting out as much processed foods as you can is a huge step in the right direction. It's probably the biggest step that you can take on the health and wellness journey. And I remember when I first started doing this, a lot of people say things like, well, it's just easier to eat processed, it's quicker. I don't have time to eat fresh. And it's kind of backwards, right? You don't have to cook fruit. You don't have to cook vegetables. You can quickly steam some veg or whatever, but it's just a matter of familiarity. It's just a matter of getting comfortable with those things and how to prepare them and have them on hand. So minimal processed foods, that's number one. A great rule of thumb that I learned way back in the day that I thought was kind of funny is if it doesn't look like it did when it was born, it's probably processed. So that's just a quick, easy reference. When you're first starting out, I found that is really helpful. Also, a lot of folks will say stick to the outside of the grocery store, avoid the aisles. The aisles is where you're going to find a lot of the processed stuff with preservatives and chemicals. And if you really want to reinforce the decision to eat more healthy, more natural foods, start looking at the ingredients labels on the boxes and packages of the stuff that you buy. It will probably weird you out. A lot of the stuff can barely pronounce. You have no idea what it is. If you look it up online, it sounds really sketchy. It sounds weird. It's a great way to reinforce your decision to eat whole foods. You think, I don't want to put that in my body. It sounds gross. And you can do the same thing with your cleaning products and your personal care products and your over-the-counter medicine. So, again, just want to reinforce when you start making those changes, you really will feel a difference, and that will likely encourage you to stick with it long term, and you won't look back. You can still have the junk once in a while. I do. It just becomes a once in a while thing instead of the all the time thing. Essential oils, as far as diet, you can use them, you can use the herbal ones, to help flavor your foods and things like that. After the heat processing is done, heat destroys essential oils. But in terms of supporting your healthy sleep, reducing stress, that's where essential oils can come in and help you, feel well so that you're more inclined to make those healthy choices instead of reverting to the habits and the cravings of the processed stuff. So cleaning products is probably the easiest one to tackle. It's a pretty simple switch to go from the chemical-laden cleaners like Clorox and Lysol and fabric softener and Febreze. Anything that is meant to freshen the air is typically synthetic chemicals. You're breathing that in. It's really nasty stuff. If you ever look into it, it's kind of frightening that they allow this stuff to be sold and to be used in our homes. Febreze, I learned this through a comedian actually. Febreze has a warning on it that you're not supposed to spray it near birds, and it's because there's formaldehyde in it. And birds are extremely sensitive to what's in the air. That's why they used to have canaries in the coal mine, because they would pick up these toxins in the air and they would drop dead, and that was their signal to get out. So that just tells you, it's an indication of what's in these things. And, we tend to operate on the mindset that, well, it probably can't kill me. If it hasn't hurt me so far, it's probably not going to kill me yet. But if you look at disease and how rampant disease is in our culture, you have to wonder why that is. It just starts to add up, right? Your body can only handle so much, and sooner or later it's going to start to come out in strange ways, in malignant ways, that our bodies just weren't meant to deal with this level of chemicals. And you're never going to eliminate all of the chemicals that you're exposed to, right? Just simply walking out the door and breathing the air, you're going to be absorbed, you're going to be exposed to toxic substances. That's just the reality that we live in. But the less you can expose your body to, the more you can reduce that load on your body, the less work it has to do to detoxify it. So we can also support our body's detox systems, our endocrine system and that sort of thing, which is very beneficial. But again, the less we tax it, the less load we put on it, fewer synthetics and chemicals we expose ourselves to, the better we're going to feel, the better our health should be. So homemade cleaners are typically less expensive. They accomplish the same task. They're just as effective. And you get the therapeutic benefits of, the oils that you're using. So, you're going to use an all-purpose spray on your counters of lemon and wild orange, or melaleuca and lemon, which smells amazing. And you're still going to get the germ-fighting ability. You're still going to get the grease cutting, and your home's going to smell amazing. So you're going to get the therapeutic benefits of the oils that you're using while you're cleaning. Plus, totally safe for pets, kids. You're doing them a favor as well. And it definitely feels like a big switch when you first start doing it. But once you do, you will never go back. A good friend of mine, she made her own laundry detergent recently, and for $30, she made enough laundry soap to last her and her husband about 1.5 years. So it's definitely less expensive in the long run, and the money that you're saving not buying these products on a monthly or bi-monthly or whatever basis, you're putting into something that you can not only use to clean, but you can use in your personal care, and you can use it to support your health as well. So personal care products are next. They are infused with all sorts of nasty chemicals. It's been a popular post on social media to post this skin deep cosmetic database, and I'll post the link in the comments. Go through and kind of assess where your personal care products are at. Chances are for most people, it's pretty high up there on the toxic load scale. There are about 20 chemicals that permeate all of the most common products, and a lot of them are known endocrine disruptors, which means they negatively affect our hormones. And there's so little enforcement in this industry. If you start looking into it, it's really disheartening. It's an innocent until proven guilty system, so the onus is on the companies to just do the right thing. And it's not until people discover negative consequences that these companies are brought to task and asked to remove the chemicals, from their products. So check out the Skin Deep cosmetic database and assess your own toxic load in this one area. Now, how simple is it to make the switch? It requires a little bit of experimentation, right? Because unlike cleaning products, where we all want the same thing, we all want clean, germ-free homes that smell good, we all want different things with our hair and our skin, right? We all have different hair and skin. Some of us are oily, some of us are dry, some of us are just normal. So you know, it does take a little bit of experimentation to find some natural products that work for you. For myself, I struggled with this my entire life. I hated my hair. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to manage it. And it took me, I'm not even kidding you, until I was about 25 to really figure out how to deal with my hair. And little by little, you know, I started with Moroccan oil, and then somebody told me there, you know, one of the girls at the salons told me there was a ton of silicones in that, and I should switch to this other brand, which had less silicones, still silicones, but less. And I started realizing, why don't I, you know, the main ingredient in both of these oils that I was using was argan oil. So what if I just got pure argan oil? So that's what I did. I ordered some organic argan oil, and lo and behold, that's all I need to use on my hair. So my after shower routine, and it's a great face moisturizer. So my skin in general, my after shower routine is to just put a quarter size drop of, I brought it, of argan oil in my palm. I add a drop or two of Hawaiian sandalwood, which I'm absolutely and completely obsessed with right now because it just makes your skin and your hair incredibly soft. And that's it. I apply it to the, you know, bottom portion of my hair, on my face, under my eyes, and that's it. So talk about simple. You know, I never liked the feeling of moisturizers on my skin, so I didn't use any. And my mom would always get on me about that. You'll have wrinkles and this and that. But I mean, at 32, I think I'm doing okay in terms of the wrinkles. I have a couple gray hairs, but I just love how simple that is for me. You know, drop of oil, it's done. And it's incredibly soft and smells great. And it's not super expensive. This bottle of argan oil, I think was $23, anywhere from $23 to $28, depending on where you order it from. And it lasts me months. It lasts me 2 to 3 months. It's crazy. So when you do find the right products, chances are you will love them and you're doing something good for your body. You've drastically eliminated your toxic load and you're not hitting your body with all these funky things that are foreign, that it's not used to, and that it has trouble disposing of and can cause some really funky side effects that we're likely not even aware of. Finally, we have the proactive medical care. Now, we're not really, you know, I always say, if you cut your finger off or if you have a stroke, you know, nobody's gonna tell you to go put oils on that. You're gonna go to the hospital and you're gonna, you know, talk to professionals and they're gonna take care of you. But for the simple everyday things that we deal with, colds and flus, earaches, cold sores, you know, stomach issues, headaches, you know, and stuff that goes even deeper, but just, you know, as a starting point, you know, if you can eliminate Tylenol, Advil, Cold-FX, Benadryl, you know, Tums, Pepto-Bismol, any of these things that a lot of us, you know, are in the habit of using pretty regularly, you know, that's where we turn when we have an issue that needs attention. You know, these things aren't going to kill you. You know, they likely won't when used in moderation. But this synthetic stuff does come with side effects, and they're not always big side effects, right? And the long-term buildup of these things is what we need to be concerned with. So being proactive and eliminating whatever is unnecessary from this routine, especially for kids, is essential. Antibiotics are definitely one of the most detrimental substances that we can put in our body. And most people know it kills all of the good bacteria that we need in our body to remain healthy. We have tons of good bacteria in our body. And actually, if you look into it, it's pretty cool too. It does so much stuff in our body that we don't even totally understand yet. So, in the first video I posted about doTERRA, you know, they say that oils are often safer, more effective, less expensive ways to support your health. And the oils go to work in our bodies and create positive changes in ways we don't even understand. So we might use an oil for a specific purpose, and it's going to have all of these unintended positive effects instead of the synthetic manufactured alternatives, which have all these unintended negative effects. So the compounds in the oils are familiar to our bodies, right? The stuff that we're made of is very similar or the same as what the plants are made out of. So when we take the oils into our body, they're in a familiar environment. Our bodies know what to do with them. With synthetics, our bodies don't know what to do with them. You know, they pass from the liver to the kidneys and like, hey, I don't know what to do with this. You deal with it. And I'm like, I don't know what you deal with it. And they get stored in our fat cells and all of this kind of gross stuff. So these synthetic and manufactured chemicals and materials and all of this kind of stuff, you know, they're really just there at the end of the day for the sake of profits. Fillers, you know, they're used to create volume and lower the cost. And with, you know, medical ingredients, they are used to allow them to patent the product, right? If it's a proprietary filler, it's something synthetic that they've made, they've manufactured, they can patent that. And it's all for the sake of money. And at the end of the day, it's sad that they are allowed to put this stuff in all of these products that we use daily for the sake of money without any regard to the effect that it has on us. It's not right. But that's the reality of the situation currently. So one of the reasons that I love oils so much and I love sharing them with people so much is because it's incredibly empowering to have something at your fingertips to turn to for whatever you need without being dependent on, you know, these other resources that aren't as healthy, aren't as beneficial, and can potentially create some really nasty effects in our bodies. They also help to address the root cause of the issue, which, you know, most of the time the solutions that were offered traditionally are just band-aids, right? They're not getting at the root cause of the issue. So, you know, and then it's, again, money. You have to keep using it to get the same effect instead of curing the root cause, right? There's not as much money in curing the root cause of it. And that's why I think you hear people talking about oils so much these days and wanting to share them with, you know, everyone, because they work. And, you know, when you hear moms talk about using them on their kids for earaches, or, you know, that I've used them on the little girl that I babysit. Actually, I think you can see her in the picture back there. You know, she had a really bad fever one day, and, you know, she'd had it for a few days to the point that her mom was thinking of bringing her up to Matt Kids. And she said, bring whatever you have. You know, if you have an oil that will work for this. She had used oils before. She said, you know, if you have something, bring it. Like, I will try it. So we used diluted peppermint on the back of her neck, which is where the body's cooling center is. We used diluted peppermint on the back of her neck, and I was using the respiratory blend on her chest. She had some congestion and a cough. And when I texted her mom the next morning, I said, you know, how's Kenny doing? She said, she's back, you know? So I've used it on Kenny as well, peppermint for constipation. She's potty training, and so she's having some issues with wanting to go, and it was causing some backups and things like that. And so the first time I used the diluted peppermint on her belly and her lower back, it worked. Within an hour, she pooped, and she was so excited, so happy. I thought, well, okay, maybe it's a fluke. You know, the second time it happened, I used it again, and it worked. I thought, okay, maybe not a fluke. You know, and the third time it happened and it worked, I went, okay, not a fluke. It's definitely the peppermint that's helping. And that was the last time that I had to use it, because she was able to get over, you know, the issue that she was having, whatever it was, you know, with not wanting to go. And now she's fine. She goes all the time, and I haven't had to use the peppermint for that reason. So it's really an amazing thing to see these oils in action and to see them working. It's really exciting. It's hard not to talk about them and share them with everyone, you know, when you're seeing these kind of effects. You know, talking to ladies that have really bad migraines, or, you know, Jess with her indigestion, or Marta with her skin tags. You know, it's like, I just have yet to give the oils to someone that hasn't come back and said, wow, you know, these really work. Even the husbands, you know, I had a good friend, she purchased the Home Essentials kit, which is the same one that I started with. And she goes, oh, Drew, you know, Drew's going to kill me. And a couple months later, I think it was probably 2 months later, we were out after volleyball, and Drew looks at me across the table, and no word of a lie, he says, Melanie, says, I just want to thank you for introducing Sarah to the essential oils, because they're amazing. And I just had to laugh. I just, you know, it was funny because, you know, men don't typically care about this kind of stuff, right? They don't care if it works. They're just like, yeah, whatever. But, you know, and with other friends, you know, my one friend, her husband says, I can't explain it. I don't know why, but I've never slept better than I have with that diffuser going with lavender in it. So you just start to hear things like that over and over again from people that you've shared the oils with. And it's really encouraging, it's really motivating, and at the end of the day, it's what keeps you going in trying to help people achieve healthy changes in their lifestyle. So guys, this was a bit of a long video. I tend to ramble. That's probably why, you know, I maybe shouldn't do more videos. But so for the draw today, homemade lip balm. It is lavender and peppermint. It's awesome. I love making it. Super simple to make. It's actually made with the same ingredients that I make my homemade deodorant. I just recycled an old deodorant thing. This one smells like lemongrass, which I love. It's got some lime in it for odor control. And super simple ingredients. So you've got cocoa butter, you've got shea butter, there's beeswax and coconut oil. That's the base for the lip balm, and then you just throw the essential oils in. And with the homemade deodorant, you do those ingredients, but you add baking soda and cornstarch in the oils. Really cool. The other thing is going to be a roller ball. This one happens to be my blemish roller ball, and I've got, you know, a couple here. I just look in there. Okay, so you win a roller ball. It's going to be a clear one. It's not going to be this blue one. This has a glass roller ball. And I think the other ones are plastic. But anyway, if you have any questions, if there's anything that I covered or touched on that you have more questions about, or that you're curious about, or you want more information on, just let me know. But I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in a little bit as we get to some oil blends.